Hi, Matty T here, and this is the first video of a series that we're hoping to do, and we hope that we can get some of our customer and friend participation on some of the gear that they have. This first video that we're going to do, I'm going to center it on my 1979 Stratocaster that I bought when I was a kid, tell you some stories about it, things I've done to it, things I shouldn't have done to it. I don't know, that's controversial I guess these days, but when I bought it, it was a new guitar. It was just a Stratocaster off the shelf, but it was mine. So anyway, follow me up to my Tweed Hut Lounge and we'll get started with this video. Follow me. Oh.
Popcorn.
This is my conveyor belt. It helps us move stuff and gear upstairs and gear downstairs. One of the reasons I don't play this guitar all that much anymore, though it sounds really good, I really like the way it sounds, is it weighs a ton, which a lot of the 70s Strats were known to do. So this is my upstairs. I call it the Tweed Hut Lounge. We do rehearsals here. Sometimes I let some friends rehearse here if on occasion. We do some event type things up here. It's set up that we could have a theater situation. And a lot of my gear, I just keep it up here. So it's a fun place. I'm really glad I have it. It's also a working store, so as you'll see in the video, I have all kinds of boxes. A lot of boxes I save for shipping, and a lot of boxes have cases in them with the guitars that are here in stock. And that's basically it. It's a working store where I do my living and working here. This is the Tweed Hut Lounge and the bar over here. This is what I call my 60s bar, and I found this in a thrift antique shop in Turlock, California, where my mother lives. We go antique shopping. So I found this cool looking, kind of cheesy 60s bar with a tuck and roll, and it's just kind of fun to have a drink there once in a while. So this is our mixer that we use for the shows and for mixing our rehearsals. It's got a multiple channel board. It's something I picked up used along the way. And I just decorate the store with things that I come across, I like it, and I go, that would be good on the wall. I got a spot for that. And nobody knew that Bing Crosby was involved in the birth of the blues. I never knew that, right? Interesting, but I thought it was a real piece of movie memorabilia of a movie I never even heard of and probably don't want to watch. But yes, I did see Jeff Beck and Imelda May at the Fillmore. That was a great show. And I've just got stuff shoved into corners, everything. I got shelves, a lot of things around here. That's a lamp. It looks like a guitar. That's a 66 Super Reverb. It's out of commission right now, so it's a good looking piece of furniture, I guess. And I've got lamps. Squeezing through here. Pardon the mess. This is just the band area. And that's my current favorite working amp right now. It's a 57 hand-wired custom Pro Fender hand-wired series. Great amp, and I actually shellacked it so it looks shiny and vintage. And this is just a stage area. My John Mayer signed Battle Studies 2010 concert poster. And these are some of my guitars. I'll probably focus on a few different individual guitars here when we do this series of videos, so you'll learn about some of these if you're interested. And I'm hoping I'll get some people to send me their video or come to do a video about their guitars and their favorite piece of gear, which should be fun. And that's kind of the roundabout tour. Here we are back at the 60s bar. And here is my 1979 Stratocaster. that I bought. It might have been the end of '78. I always thought it was a '78 until a few years ago I actually checked the serial number. And so it turned out it was a '79. So all these years I thought it was a '78, but it's a '79. I'm probably gonna have to turn the lights on here because there's all kinds of crackle in the finish and wear marks on it. And so that's probably what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come back and turn the lights on, I think. Hi, so this is my 1979 Strat. I bought it when I was 16 years old. I got on the bus, the Marine Transit, and drove to San Francisco with my buddies. Let's see, Bill, John, and Mark was probably there too. And that was the guys in the band that I was playing with. And we drove into San Francisco, and we went to Guitar Center, which was on Van Ness, and went in and said, I want a white Stratocaster. I'd saved my money, and the guy said, well, they don't make white Stratocasters anymore. And I thought, I don't believe that. So we left, and we went over to Columbus Street, where Don Ware's Music City was. Don Ware's Music City, yeah. And I asked the same question. Yeah, I'd like to get a white Stratocaster, and the salesman said, hang on 1 second. And he came out like this, and I said, pretty damn close. The difference was they came with only black pick guards in '79, so you could get a white Stratocaster, but it would not have a white pick guard like Jimi Hendrix, which I was hoping for. But it only had a black pick guard. So I bought it, and we got back on the bus, and we went back to our hometown, Novato. So anyway, that's the story on how I got this guitar. So let me tell you a little bit about my guitar here. It's my 1979 Strat. I bought it in either late '78 or early '79, I think. Like I said, we got on the bus and we went to San Francisco, and I bought my Stratocaster. This was a guitar in an era of Fender finishes that they put this like heavy duty plastic coat like paint. It's extremely durable, but it wasn't good. I guess with the guitar wood shrinking as it evaporated, the moisture left the guitar. The guitar completely crackled, and it's been chipping ever since a little bit. It's heavy as I'll get out. It probably weighs 10.5 pounds. I'll confirm that in another part of this video. I once tried to strip the paint off in 1987. I know it was the year we got married, and my wife and I lived in this little apartment in San Rafael. And I painted this with Jasco paint remover, and I stuck it in a garbage bag like I had read about, waited 3 days, got it out of the bag, expected to wipe all the finish off of the wood, and it didn't even dull the shine on the paint. So I gave up on the idea of refinishing my guitar. So anyway, it has an icy sticker on the back that my son, who's 31 now, he put this sticker on when he was 5 or 6 years old, as I recall. I just left it on there. It's kind of a keepsake for me. I scalloped the neck in 1985, I believe. I was living in Sacramento by myself, going to summer school at the university there, and I used a pencil and sandpaper is all I used to do the scallop. I just wrapped the sandpaper around the pencil and did each fret, jigga, 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 and it took me quite a few weeks during that summer, and I probably finished it up later in the year, because for quite a while I had like a half scallop fretboard, which is kind of a good memory. At times I've had a brass nut on that, though I don't have a brass nut right now. I have a bone nut, and it's a very heavy guitar. I mostly just play slide on it. I'm carrying 5 springs in the back right now, and I have it cranked down, so it's a lot of tension on the bridge. You could bend it down, but mostly it's very stable, and I just tune to open chords when I play slide on this guitar. It's very limited uses. I'm 58 years old now, and I don't like carrying this heavy of a guitar. In fact, when I was in my 20s, in my late teens, when I was playing this, it would hurt my shoulder, give me cramps back then. So it's really pretty heavy. So anyway, that's what I can tell you about this guitar. It sounds great. The neck shifts because it's one of those, the neck pocket was too big. It's a 3-bolt neck. This is one of the guitars that gave the 3-bolt system a bad reputation, and justifiably so on this particular guitar, though I know there's some that work just fine. This one doesn't. If I move too fast, hit it on something, it'll shift completely out of tune. So it's kind of a pain that way. But I love this guitar. It was mine. I bought it when I was 16 years old, and I'm never going to sell it. Here's a story on how this guitar actually looks on occasion. I met a gentleman that wanted to trade in a guitar many years ago, and he thought he had a '79 Strat, and told me about it. I said, yeah, bring it in. Well, it turned out that he didn't have a '79 Strat. He had a '79 parts guitar. The neck was a '79. The rest of the guitar was just parts, and he thought that he had a legitimate '79 Strat. Anyway, I ended up working out a deal with him just so that I could get the neck, so that if I felt like it, I could put a 79 neck on my 79 body that wasn't scalloped. So this is a few digits different, but this neck is the same year as this neck, just hasn't been scalloped, and this is what the neck actually looked like. So I'm glad I have it, and it's fun to put on the guitar and play it as a standard non-scalloped neck guitar on occasion. I think I'm due to do that pretty soon. Somebody had a locking tremolo on here, probably an old Kaler system. So there's some filled holes. Not the best looking neck, has the original frets on it, but it is what it is. Hey, there's a couple other things that I did to this guitar that I just wanted to share with you to make sure I didn't forget. The first thing is I put some bent steel saddles on this guitar, some vintage style bent steel saddles, and I think they look really cool, and they don't get the grooves in them like a lot of the other square type saddles get. So it's better for like neck breaking strings in my opinion, and they're easy to lube if you want to use a string lube. I also, I'll get you a close-up picture on it, but I had this refretted as well, and I put these great big wide jumbo frets on it. I don't really know if that was the right move or not, but that's what I did to it. Hi there, if you like our channel and like our videos, please hit like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks.